Cool. Live on Facebook. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the people. If you're tuning in live or you see this on a replay, welcome. We've got two really awesomely technologically savvy individuals, and this is the first time we're doing this. I'm super excited. You excited, mate?
Finally worked it out. It took us a little bit, but we got there.
I have
But
been sitting on this computer for 45 minutes trying to work out how to do this. For someone who has a podcast who likes to think they're very good with technology, still learning stuff. This is cool to be able to do a Zoom stream through Facebook. So super cool. Thank you again, guys, for listening. And we are
very good.
excited because we're here to talk some trading talk, man. But before we get into that, how was your day, Levi?
Yeah, it was quite good. It was very productive. It's a beautiful day here in Melbourne, so managed to get down to the gym, managed to get my daily routine sorted out and whatnot. But yeah, spent the day in the sun, which is good. How about yourself?
Yes, no. Well, for me, funny story. I'm uh, as most people know, I'm back in Tassie now, so just temporarily until I head up to Queensland. You know, post, whatever you want to call it, due to COVID, I've had to come back down to Tassie, which a lot of people know. But um, yeah, it's been good. So today I was just helping out, doing a little bit of work just during the day out in a farm. Well, it's actually a vineyard, and sitting in a tractor all day, and spent the whole day talking to people and giving people calls, checking in, sitting in the sun for a lot of it as well. It was actually just really nice just to get out into the sun and enjoy it. Like I haven't had to work since I left Melbourne at all, and I'm just trading now basically full time. But it's very interesting. You sort of spend your whole life trying to escape a quote unquote 9 to 5 and not work during the day, and it's good initially, but then you start to get a little bit sort of bored, and it's like, fuck, I don't know what to do, especially when it comes to trading. Like in Australia, the best time to trade is after sort of 9, 10 o'clock at night, which you know that as well. But it just leaves you with a lot of time on your hands during the day, and it's been good initially, but then it's like,
Yeah,
well, I need to do something. I need to get out. So been really good just to be able to do that. And then yeah, now we're sort of coming on here, and we now get to work before
absolutely.
as the trades start to open up, man. But
For sure. The day's just begun. Looking
the day
forward to
has
it.
just begun. Yeah, the day has just begun. But look, the whole premise, guys, for the people that are watching for us, the reason why we're doing this Facebook Live or Zoom Live is just to have. I know I can't speak for you. I know you've said a few things though to me. Is that you've had a lot of people start to ask a lot of questions about trading. You know, how do you do it? What's it all about? Do I need to be like an absolute wizard, or do I need to be a tech geek to sort of get started?
Mm.
And you know, but both you and I know that that isn't the case. It's actually quite easy once you've learned the methods and gotten around the right sources of information. But
Right.
you know, that was part of the reason why we decided to do this, just to show you a little bit, tell you a little bit about our stories, why we're doing this, and show you just how easy it is when you get the proper guidance. But what do you reckon about that, man?
Yeah, that's it. That's right. There's just, I think, a bit of a general misconception in regards to what it is that we do. Like, like we're always posting different things about, like, being on calls with people or being like just watching the charts and like, marking up your analysis and whatnot. Um, that's all good. But yeah, I think it's just a general misconception behind it being complicated, or, you might have to be always behind the computer screen at all times of the day, which really, like, it isn't. Like, I work full time as a qualified electrician here in Melbourne, and I honestly don't have time to be sitting behind a laptop here, like flat out, which I feel like a lot of other people, in the 9 to 5 could definitely relate to and appreciate. But at the end of the day, guys, like Dom was saying, the best time to trade here in Australia is, after 8 p.m. at night. So at the end of the day, it is good for it suits someone with a bit of a corporate routine to be able to come and learn this skill part time, and then be able to jump into it as a secondary income or a little bit of a passive income, which has been fantastic for me. My journey along the way. But yeah, basically what we're going to show everyone, all our audience here tonight, was basically just a rundown of that altogether. The training package, what it is that we're learning, and why we're learning that particular set of skills, compared to if you just learnt it elsewhere, or if you just tried to have a crack at it. We're going to show you the ins and outs of the education platform. All of the different training modules that we go through as as novice and amateur traders. and how, and how people like people like me, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I never was during high school as well, but yeah, people like us can do it for ourselves as well. So without further ado,
Well, just before we jump into that, only because I've got it on my phone as well. So I just wanted to see how we were going. So guys, I can see the chat box live. So if you got any questions at all or anything like that, feel free to ask us a question, and I will respond back to that. That's really cool. This is so trippy. It's like Inception all over again. But yeah, so like before we get into it, I think just talking about the nitty gritty, I think it's important to sort of, and for you as well to share, man, like why you feel this is important to learn and why you personally wanted to learn this as well. I know that, but I think it's really important you share that.
Yeah, absolutely. So taking this like into the depths of why I wanted to learn it and adopt it into my life was, for a lot of different fundamental reasons. Like, for example, I wanted to basically be in control of my financial future. I didn't really see the sense in allowing someone else to play with my superannuation money, like just things like that. So I particularly just wanted to have that as something that I controlled myself. Be able to live life on my terms. Like why have to wait until like your annual leave builds up to be allowed to go on a holiday, like wait until the end of the year to go on a holiday. Like if the weather's good, I want to be able to go to Bali and just, spend however long I need there and be financially okay with that. And, be able to not be limited by my wage or not have to be constricted by a dollar figure an hour and all that sort of thing. Like you talked about it in your story today. Why are we so willing to accept a level of, of income that we might not feel comfortable with, but that's just what we've got to cop. Do you know what I mean? So everything that I've been doing over the past, little while with my training and investing and stuff like that has basically just been able to, build the different foundations of what my empire might be one day, and be able to, basically be a little bit more independent financially in regards to that. So yeah, that's basically my why, and my reasons and my motives and my motivating factors. But yeah, keen to hear what yours are too.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the biggest thing for myself. Like there was also, when it comes to life, whenever you just decide to create any change, it's usually through inspiration or desperation. And for me, it was a bit of a combination of both. So, I knew the power of trading, and I knew that and I'd known people that had been very, very successful traders in terms of day traders, and that's all they did on a full-time basis. And I connected with one bloke who I've known for quite some time, and we bonded, and I knew that he was a full-time trader as well. And so I just reached out to him and asked because of COVID, I lost so much money. I lost about $3,000 a week worth of income, and people that also work in the fitness industry, how much we got smashed. So for me, it came from desperation. So, all of a sudden you've lost all that kind of income that's been out of your control because of circumstances that are out of your control. It just really like, holy crap, what am I going to do? So for me, I've never been someone that just wants to sit back on their morals. I needed to create change. I needed to seek help, seek advice, seek guidance, and I'll always double down and invest on myself to be able to get myself out of a situation. So reached out to the mate, asked him like, how can I get started? What do I do? He obviously then told me about this education platform on how to trade, and literally just said, look, here it is. Do you want to get started? Let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. So for me, knowing the power of it, feeling very foreign though, like I didn't know whether I was able to do it, but I was like, I'm going to give it a go. I'm willing to give this a go. And that's what I did. Just want to give a shout out up to like 20 odd live viewers. Hey, live viewers, that's so cool. Thanks for the comments, guys. This is really cool. And anyway, so yeah, once I got started because of COVID, and I'm sure there's heaps of people watching this now who can relate that either they lost their job completely or their income was greatly impacted from it. So the reason again why I chose trading was because I knew that was one area where it's not going to be affected by anything at all, because it's how the big companies, the big corporations, they trade actively on the stock exchange and in the currency market. So I knew that wasn't going to be something that could be possibly affected. So it was a safe bet for me to go in with it and go all in with it. And I also love the fact that trading is purely decided and determined on you. So you've got to put in the work. You don't go out and, you don't have to rely on anyone else. You don't have to sell to anyone or any of that kind of bull crap. You just go in and get it done yourself. yourself, learn how to do it and learn how to trade. And then you're basically the captain of your own ship. So
Exactly right.
that was my real intention. And now I guess moving forward, I'm at that point now where yes, I'm trading full time. I'm not making big bucks. I'm not a multi-millionaire or anything like that, but I'm in a really good position where I don't have to work. Only I'm choosing to work at the moment by my choice. And I wake up and I do my morning routine. I bloody speak to some people. I get started and I get my head and mindset right. I live my day during the day, which is so weird to be able to say that and do that. And then I get home because in Australia, the best time to trade is at night. I sit home, get on the computer around about 8:30, 9 o'clock, do a couple of trades for an hour and a half, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and then see those trades get over, which is just so cool to think that that's even a possibility. But, it is what it is and it's happening, it's working. And I'm happy to seeing you do that as well, which is really, really cool.
That's exactly right. And another thing that I think is even more important than what I said, and I feel like you'd agree as well, to be honest with you, is the fact that this is something that not enough people know about. Like, we're not taught about this in school for a reason. Like, there's a reason why we're not taught about, financial independence and, cutting your own path in your life in regards to what you earn and how you earn it as well. But I think one of the things that, like, one of the things that I'm most grateful for in learning all of this is having the ability to teach it to others as well. Is having the ability to, all of the things that we talked about, all the really good things that I talked about and that you talked about in regards to your why and whatnot. Like, I can think of a lot of different people that would have the same reasons why that they would want to do that. Do you know what I mean? And that's another really rewarding thing about it as well, is being able to share this with people and so they can adopt that skill set in their life as well. But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, this is really cool because it's something that, again, like I said, it can't be controlled by anyone. This is seriously, it's up to you. And I'll never work for a boss again, purely because I don't think anyone's time is worth a dollar figure. Like, it's up to you. You choose, you determine it. Why can someone tell you they're only worth $22 an hour? Why put your money in a bank where you can only earn 0.12% bloody bullcrap over a year, whereas you can go in and you can create it? And there is a reason why not everyone does this. There is a reason why this has only been made available to the general public for, in the last 10 years. But the fact of the matter is, this is like a $7 trillion industry where money is turning. So $7 trillion when it comes to the current currency and foreign market. It's just ridiculous. It is 5 times the amount in terms of the stock exchange. So, if everyone was told this, if we were told this in the school and when we went to school, life would be very, very different, but they don't want us to know this. Absolutely. And there's also a reason now, because it is becoming very popular and very trendy and a lot of people know about it. Where do people go to find out this information? They go to Google, they go to YouTube. But the people that are putting out this information on the general basic YouTube videos, they're not the best information. They're designed as well, in my opinion, from what I've seen, not designed for you to succeed. So it's important to go to places and education platforms where people are actually making the money, where they're actually doing the right things and teaching you certain methods of trading, because there's so many different styles. And what I love is with this platform, guys, and for the ones who have got experience in trading, you get taught institutional forms of trading. Now, I won't go too much into the nitty gritty, but essentially, there's retail trading methods where you're everyday Joe Blow. Now, I am a retail trader. Levi's a retail trader, but retail traders are taught retail wise, and it's very specific and basic, because it's obviously can be manipulated. The markets can be manipulated a lot, and your institutions, your big corporate entities, they will manipulate the market and stop out and make retail traders like you and I normally will go bankrupt. And that's why when you go to Google, it says 95% of retail trade or for traders go bankrupt and don't make any money. And that's because you're learning through mainstream media way of learning how to trade, which they manipulate, and they bankrupt you or they liquidate you. Whereas what's really cool with this form is we learn how to identify how the institutions trade, and we get taught when they enter the market. So we don't enter the market until they do. Therefore, we're counteracting off their forms of trading, so we don't get manipulated or stopped out of. And that's what's really, really cool. So when I get asked a lot, why do I need to learn from this platform when I can just go to YouTube? And that's the reason why. So I really wanted to emphasize that premise. So Levi, I guess now, like, because you're someone who's only really just gotten started, you're learning and you're making that process. How
Yeah.
are you finding it right now?
So the education has been like there's been a lot to take in over the past, however long I've been doing this, probably like 3 months now or something to that effect. The education has been like really well thought through and whatnot, and there is a lot of it, so there is a lot to take in. But you're right in when you say like, it is all about how much you put in, and like it's like what I put it on my story last night. Nothing ever happens when nothing good ever happens when you're half committed to something. Do you know what I mean? Relationships, careers, learning a new skill, fucking riding a push bike. Nothing ever happens nothing good ever happens unless you're fully committed to it. So it is a lot to take in. It is a lot to, take on board and learn, and sort of try and unlearn a lot of the things that you might have been taught about, saving your money and like not taking risk and things like that. But in a grand scheme of things, we're talking about a skill set that can basically change the effect of the rest of your life. Like, this is something that you can't put a price on. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you can't say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go and get and do this for a couple of months, and if I don't see any success out of it, then I'm just going to give it away. Like, people spend 7+ years trying to become a doctor at university, and like, they're fully committed to that, and they're fully into it and whatnot, and they trust the process, and at the end of their time, they become a surgeon, they become a doctor. So it's all about, people wouldn't be able to get a ticket if they just spent 2 years at uni or 1 year at uni or less at university trying to become a doctor. It just can't happen like that. Do you know what I mean? So it is about the process. It is about, taking in as much as you can, being a bit of a sponge. But the whole process so far for me has been really good, to answer your question. But yeah, there's been a lot of information. It's been really well thought out. Like the professionals that help us trade are always within like message reach. Like, you can always just jump straight onto talking to them. It's like, so yeah, for me, I feel it's been really, really positive from my personal experience, and also just been able to relay different ideas off our educators, SJ, Zach, and Dom, and yeah, yourself and Josh. It's been really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can would you like me to show you some of the education stuff?
Before we jump into that, only because there's a couple of questions that have come through on the chat now that I've seen it. Sorry, the chat went away.
That's fine. I can't see it.
No, you're right. Don't stress. That's what I'm here for. So I got a question here from someone that says, "Is trading risky?" It's a very, very common question. And now, like, at the end of the day, any form of investment is risk management, being risky. But I love this because, yes, there's risk involved, because obviously you need to use a percentage of your account to make a trade. But we get taught smart money concepts, and we get taught to how to keep our risk at an absolute minimum. So whenever we talk about risk management in trading, we're only ever risking no more than 2% of our accounts, which is really, really good. But when we're entering trades, yes, we're risking 2%, but we're looking to get out of that trade, anywhere between 10 to 15%. So it's really, really good. And I like that. And again, we won't get into the nitty gritty, but because we're taught how to do that, if you have an account, say, for example, that has $200 in it, you start with a $200 account. And that's one thing that we teach the students, and what I got taught, just to start with a $200 account, which is easy, no problem how to do that. And every time I'm doing a trade, I'm only risking $2. So now, say, for example, I lose and I stuff up because I'm learning, and my first 10 trades fail, right? If my 11th and 12th trade ends up being successful, not only is that money that I lost for those 10 consecutive trades made back up, but I am now in the surplus because of proper risk management. And that's really, really important, because you don't make every single trade, right? Most successful traders are, even if you're 50-50, that's above average, great form of trading. But because we're smart, we only enter on where we're going to get good percentages back on the market, and we're risking small amounts through the education platform, which is great, because it's not also just teaching how to trade. It's about proper financial education as well. And so that's been really, really good in that sense. And then I got another question coming through saying, do I need a lot of money to start? And I kind of already answered that, was no. Like, yes, there's a little bit of investment to get started in the platform to learn how to trade, because it's like a subscription. It's a bit like Netflix. So many of us are out there laying out cash to buy Netflix and sit at home and just watch bloody TV. Or you can choose to use that same kind of money to get started on the platform.
Yep.
which is going to give you, it's reinvesting back into yourself, what I really, really like. And then, like I said, to get started, we like to only use $200, and you learn to build a $200 account into whatever it is. You're creating yourself your own superannuation almost. So there's a couple of questions there, but I think what we'll do now, just quickly for the sake of time as well, because this is only a little bit of an introductory one, very, very basic, because what I'd like to do is we're going to do another call next week or later on in the week where we're going to bring on one of our personal mentors who is a full-time, multiple, well, we won't talk about income, but just very, very successful trader, let's say the least. And super excited to listen to her and listen to her story. So we're going to bring her on next week or later on the week. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's, thank you guys for still got some listeners, which is cool. We still got 20 odd listeners, so that's awesome. Yeah, so do you want to show? We'll show mine first because I want to show the first one. So I'm just going to share my screen, which I just want to make sure this works first, which is really cool. I'm hoping it does. So hang on, if I go to new screen share and go this one and go this one, just there's a 15-second delay, so just wanted to see if this shows on Facebook. Yeah, it does. Cool.
Oh, really?
Cool. It's a little bit slow. It's very slow. So this is a bit of the back office, guys. Just to give you an idea. Now I'm just going to go to the next one here where I'll just obviously log in. What I really like, and Levi said, you do get shown how to do this. You get shown from step by step by step by step. And it's really like you do get your hand held, and there's a lot of video logs and video manuals, video updates and stuff just to show you how we go about it. And as you can see here on my screen, it's again, sorry for a little bit of the delay, but here's just a whole bit of videos, that's good English, the whole list of videos here. As you can see, this video tutorials. It's literally A, B, Z, D, E, F, G, but it makes more sense.
It's a full breakdown.
Really good breakdown. Now, these videos only go for a couple of minutes each. It's a very basic understanding. It's just to give you a little bit of an understanding of how we go about it. And then from there, we move into a bit more high level of education where each video goes for an hour, which I'm going to get Levi, I'm going to get you to share. So I'm just going to make you quickly host. So then you can share that. Whilst you're doing that, mate, I'll keep talking. But that's really important, guys, because I know I get a lot of people that ask about trading and they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to get going. And it's quite daunting. Like, I feel like it's very, very overwhelming, but the videos really do help you. It's a step-by-step process. And this next one, which Levi is going to talk about, is really, really good.
Absolutely. So can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, your screen's up there, mate. No one's going to talk back to you, mate.
True. So this is what we call bounce back. This is basically the secondary step in the training modules. Basically just a more in-depth look at the different concepts that we call smart money, the reasons why we trade this way, all of the different terms and quotes that you'll hear in your in the basic fundamentals of what it is that we learn. So there's different phases of this. Probably takes like within a good 1 or 2, maybe 3 months to get through, maybe 2 months, I think would be a decent amount of time. I think that's how much it took me to get through it. Super good information on here, guys, about what it is that we do, the reasons why, training your eye, just all the different things that in regards to all of that. But yeah, that's the bounce back type things. And also I'd like to show you guys, if it's all right, on the go live schedule, how it's back on.
Yeah, no, definitely show that. That's really important.
So back on the Academy's what's it called page, we have all of the different Forex educators and their timetable for the week. So literally, I think it's like 160 hours of fresh content each week that's just added to this timetable for anyone to look at whenever you want. So you can go and watch a live call with whoever it is that you want. Let's go on to one of our personal educators, old Zachy boy. All of his recordings are within this platform. Favorited sessions, all the ones that are really good, all of his most recent ones. As soon as he might have a live one, you can jump on here and chat to Zach. So let's go ahead and see if anyone is actually live at the moment. So Cedric is live at the moment, doing his call with interaction from the audience. You can jump on here and say, hi, Cedric. And Cedric will jump on here if he's busy, if he's not, and he'll actually reply to you. He'll actually say, you can say, hi, Cedric, I'm having trouble with my analysis on this and that. Cedric will be like, hey, Levi, how you going? Yeah, let's look into it. So the education is quite personable. The education is quite relatable. And if you're having trouble, there's always someone that is available to run you through what it is that you're struggling with. So basically that's everything that I had to share in regards to the Go Live Academy and also the Bounce Back Trainer Bootcamp. Yeah.
Just go back onto the Go Live, mate.
Sorry.
Just go back to the Go Live and go to his page again. It was fine where you were. Just go into him. I'll just show this as well, which is really important. So, like I said, like Levi said, you've got almost 20 Go Live educators who operate all across the world in multiple countries. So you got multiple language ones, and they all have different areas. So there's different, just for some people, so there isn't just like this Forex is one, commodity, stock, bonds. You can trade on a lot of different areas, not just in currency. So every educator has their main thing that they talk about. So one of those key topics. Now, as you can see here, this is really important. So for whatever reason you can't get onto a live one, or you work, it's pretty hard if you couldn't get onto a live one, because they operate pretty much in a whole 24-hour basis. There's someone usually talking at some point on Monday to Friday or Monday to Saturday morning for the trade weeks, because they're only certain through times. They don't trade over weekends for currencies, that is. But as you can see there, where Levi is at the bottom, you got recorded sessions. So every session that's ever done by a live educator goes and records and gets saved on the platform, and you can come back and reference to it. They'll obviously have their favorite sessions, and that is really, really good. So, you got 160 hours of live education throughout the week, plus they record it and keep it on there. And you can go back and look at pre-recorded stuff. It's just crazy. It's very, very powerful. That's just one educator. So you obviously got multiple educators across the platform. Plus you've got obviously the personal ones that we speak to, our personal mentors who show us. And so you just got access to hours upon hours upon hours of information. So just don't think that you'll never, it's just not something you get involved with and just you're left alone. Like, it took me a while to get my head around it. Levi can relate. It took